This is three people in a room talking about selected scenes from Breaking the Waves. It's Anna Schreffen, who edited the film, Lars von Trier, who directed it, and Anthony Dodd Mantle, who had nothing to do with the film officially.
Yeah, this is a handheld camera for the logo. Difficult to do because it's difficult to kind of make kind of random movements in a
in a static shot.
Yeah, very.
Lars and I decided that we should cut emotionally. We shouldn't respect the rules of visual continuity in the traditional way. So we just, as soon as a scene lost in intensity, in emotion, then we should cut whatever where they were in the continuous action in the scene.
So it's a kind of different form of adrenaline really.
Yeah.
It's storytelling.
And if you look carefully in this first sequence of the film, all the traditional rules of visual continuity are broken here.
It's very strange with Emily here, but I remember I had this idea that she should overact here, the first scene. But this should be too much, because I seem to remember some of the films about, naughty persons. They should always overact in the first scene, so you know exactly what you know.
Like Ryan's daughter. Like
Yeah,
exactly.
But there's a lot of films when you see the first scene, you say, "We'll never accept this," and then when you've seen the film, everything changes. So that's the idea. So that's why she's overacting even here.
Here comes a very important part where she looks into the camera for the first time.
And very strange mountains. Per Kirkeby made them.
Bonnie, Scotland. Slightly.
But this was computer. All this was computerized. All the chapter signs, and this stupid helicopter doesn't look like a helicopter. We tried for a long time.
The early days of computer animation.
Yeah.
But that's the first two minutes of the film there, and it's completely breaking down conventional language, There's not a lot of information on an intellectual level, is there? It's all emotional. Are you right?
When I wrote it, there was a lot of explanation about the Council of Elders and stuff in the scene before. Here we know nothing.
Yeah.
And even here, we get very late into the scene. No explanation of what she's waiting for. You just see a girl in a wedding gown dress.
And you hear the sound of the helicopter.
And you hear the sound of a helicopter, and you have these ugly close-ups.
Very, very violent again. Very brutal style.
And this pan.
It's unnerving. It's unnerving.
And another thing we also wanted to use in this film was a time cut within the sequence.
Okay.
Not like a montage, but just cut out in continuity. So,
when you were editing, were you in agreement, or did you walk in and out of each other and cut, behind each other's backs? And
I think it was very important to me anyway that it should be a bit strange.
The main rule we had in the editing was we should cut emotionally. That we shouldn't respect the transportation or the formality or the establishing of the situation. We should go late into the situation, as late as we dared, and leave it as soon as the emotion had peaked.